So hello.
Welcome to the Mystical Trio. Everyone, I'm Romy from Romy's Mystical Realm, and I'm working with tarot, energy healing, and spiritual guidance. So I'm joined by Tracy from Spirit Connection and Andrew, who does clearings for people and spaces, helping shift energy and environments. So together, we are all here and we're going to explore the deeper questions we often keep to ourselves. So, especially when life feels confusing, guys, or uncertain. So, this podcast isn't about having all the answers, but about honest conversations on spirituality, intuition, healing, and meaning. So, think of it as friends sharing perspective over coffee or water. We've got water. Each episode, we explore one big question. So, from different angles, and we're hoping to offer reflection, clarity, and hope. So, today's question is going to be, how do you know when the universe is trying to tell you something? So, these are all the things that we lie awake at 2 in the morning. So we're going to explore these signs, the intuition, the synchronicities, spirit, and we're going to learn to trust our inner guidance. Tracy, do you want to introduce yourself, my friend?
Yes, thank you so much. Hello, Romy. Welcome, Andrew. It's so nice to be called a trio. We are learning, we're evolving, we're growing together. And I love this platform. So I'm Tracy from Spirit Connection. As you can see, Romy and I have been walking a long path, and it's nice to welcome Andrew with his expertise. And I love this podcast and our perspectives. Remember, take what resonates and leave the rest. So welcome to our podcast. Really excited for this topic today.
Oh, it's so amazing to be here, Trace. So yes. So Andrew, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Andrew, and thank you for having me as a guest with you guys. I am clear spaces and do counsel work and am a keeper of the light.
Yeah, that's always beautiful. Hey? We always say that keeper of the light is the most beautiful. You can actually just see, the light, everything is just beautiful. So, yes, guys, so the first question, so I've got a few notes that I made here today. So we're going to go with all the things, what actually happens? What is the meaning? The universe is giving me a sign. What do you feel, Trace? What do you want to say about when you get signs, and how do you get signs?
Oh, I love this topic, Rose, because I don't think that the universe actually sends us these giant flashing neon signs and say, look, here's a sign for you. No, it's more like gentle nudges. The universe nudges you, and it's not whether the signs are there, it's whether you are paying attention to the signs. So for me personally, it's repeated numbers that you often see, meeting the right person at exactly the right time, listen to a song on the radio, and then something just, wow, now it makes sense. And now I'm getting the little nudge from spirit. And remember, the universe actually just whispers before it shouts. Yeah. And sometimes life gets so busy that we're so busy with life, the signs are there. It's just that we're not paying attention.
We're not paying attention. Andrew, what do you want to add to this?
It's all got to do with the synchronicity of life. And so everybody gets prompted in a different way. Some people through, like Tracy said, signs, symbols, music, symbology, dreams, intuition. So many different ways that we get prompted, because we all have different gifts and graces of the spirit. And so that gets used. And that's how the promptings and the communications or the whisperings come about.
So those kind of things, those are things that you've got to look at. If you drive behind a car, you always see the number plate. So there's a lot of things. There's even, if you in the mornings, what I do, I pull a card. So, I mean, that's also, that's also your sign. So you can ask for your sign for the day. What do I need to concentrate on? So, for instance, I got the death card this morning. And, straight away, everybody would, oh my gosh, I got the death card. Am I going to die or what? But it's not like that. It's, you got to go into the deeper meanings. Take your little lessons, take your little symbols and, your signs and use them and see where this is going. You guys want to add anything to that?
Yes, I want to say that fear actually shouts and intuition actually whispers. So exactly like you said, getting that death card, there's like, oh, no, it's not. It's just meaning transformations coming to you, Romy. And I love that Andrew mentioned synchronicities, because Carl Jung actually came up with the word synchronicities. It's meaningful incidences that don't seem random. And that's why we're so busy, we're not noticing it. So sometimes you even like a little whispers, like you think of someone and the next minute they've texted you or phoned you. That is also a little sign or intuition that you need to pay attention to.
Andrew, anything else you want to add here?
Yeah, well, like we said, it covers so many aspects of signs, symbols, music, numbers. Life is full of signs and symbols, and we've just got to pay more attention.
Yeah.
But we get so caught up in what we see in the duality of life that we aren't present to pay attention to what is it that the universe is trying to show us, or what people are trying to show us. And so if we're not paying attention, then these whisperings or these opportunities, they pass us by. Yeah. So we have to be more present and observant in what happens in our daily life, because the duality of life is there to draw us out into this movie that we are always focusing on something instead of being present.
That just brought me to something as well, Rome. Sorry, I just want to do this before it leaves my mind.
Carry on.
It's like, everyone's got GPSs. You've all got smartphones. You've all got a GPS on your car. It's exactly the same. So I would explain this to the normal person that don't understand. It's like having a GPS. You put the GPS in, but sometimes you can take a detour. You can go a different road. It's still going to bring you back to your final destination. So that's also with subtle signs and things. Even if you don't listen, you can take a detour, but your spirit will always lead you back to the right path. That's how I see it.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And, I think a lot of people, when they're not spiritual or they're trying to see, are these signs like all magical? Is there going to be like magical sparks that come up? No, they are just normal things that happen. I mean, you will sit in your space and you will all of a sudden have a smell of like a cigarette or a perfume or something, and that means that there's people that's moved on to the other side of the realm that's around you, and they want you to like connect with them. So these are all simple things that we need to just be aware of.
The guidance is also always there. The guidance is there. They're always giving you guidance, but the decision is always yours. Don't forget, we've always got free will. We don't have to take note of what they're guiding us to. You've got free will. All humans have got free will. So yes, the signs are there, but ultimately the decision is yours. Hey, Andrew, how do you explain that?
No, absolutely, because it's free will. And then the opposite side of that is not being aware. And then the opportunity passes by. So one's got to be aware of both. And these are promptings. They are not motivations to interfere with our free will processes, because there's always free will.
It's also, logic. If you think about it, these kind of signs are not always logical. So, for the person that's not spiritual, or they'll say, no, man, it's, it's all in your head, or, but these are the kind of things that you've got to look for, and you've got to step into, like what you said with the intuition, learn to trust your intuition. When you are driving, instead of going left, you turn right. And then the intuition has to kick in. And it's like, oh my gosh, where am I going? Now you've got to start thinking. So, we've said this so many times on our TikToks and all that, where you've got to try and, Tracy, you always say you brush your teeth with your left hand, or you try, you just mess everything up a little bit so that you can start using your intuition.
That's it. And some people might say, oh, this is just coincidental, but no, others see them as guidance. So it just depends how you want to see it as well. So yeah, maybe coincidence, but if you learn to recognize the signs, then you're going to say, yes, that's definitely guidance.
Okay, so I've got something for you too. Yeah. How do you tell the difference between intuition, fear, and like wishful thinking?
Oh, that one is easy. Intuition, because I know this one is so easy for me because this is what I've been learning a lot lately.
Yeah.
Intuition is calm, quiet. It doesn't panic. Fear is the one that's loud, that's urgent. You need to do it now. That is the fear. So that is the difference for me, how I see it. So it's just the more calm, and the more you learn to recognize it, the more calm you feel within yourself as well.
Andrew, what do you feel?
Yes, intuition is a space of silence, of connectivity, where we listen to hear what is available to us. But when the mind is busy and it's running like the hamster on the treadmill or on the wheel, then we're not in a space of listening. Because silence and listening is, one's got to go that level deeper and deeper. So, and the minute that you get stuck in the mind, then you start analyzing and you become analytical, and that's when fear and doubt steps in. So, being in a space of intuition, to receive that intuition, one's got to be in a heart space where you've got to silence the duality of the world out there, silence all the voices, silence the mind and its activity, and then one can be in a space of receiving.
I also think, listen to your body. If you feel your body is in stress mode or anxiety, or, you can feel, is this anxiety, is this actually serving me? So listen to your bodies. Your bodies will actually also tell you. Anything else you guys want to add to that?
I think we've covered signs and how the normal person would look at signs. So it's not like a state of you, like I'm saying, if you're driving, you can't be in a meditative state. You have to also be observant, especially in South African roads. But it's just that little nudge. Look at the right side, look at the left side. There's a sign, there's a number plate, and there's a bird flying, those things. So pay attention, basically pay attention. Yes, I know we've all got stressful, busy lives, but sometimes you need to come back to yourself and pay attention.
And it's also about going with the flow sometimes, because sometimes we feel that we are being hampered on our little visitations of life as we're driving along, and things happen and you feel, now I'm not going to get to the next place on time. But there could be synchronicity in that as well, where you have all kinds of things happening to prevent you from getting from A to B in a certain time. And then along the way, all of a sudden you pass an accident, and then you think to yourself, but if I was on time, I could have been involved in that accident. So sometimes these synchronicities seem to be an inconvenience, but they're actually looking after us.
Yeah, so we've got to be open to that. Also, another thing that we've discussed quite a lot of times is dreams. Dreams
yes.
are also signs. Dreams are also, it guides you. That's all the subconscious mind that is, that's there. It's giving you the signs. It's giving you, so it's good to sit and try and, speak to someone. If you don't know yourself, ask somebody. Andrew's usually brilliant with dream I always say to him, I can't wait to tell him my dreams so he can help me with that. Because sometimes you don't see it as a person yourself, but someone else will unpack it for you. So very, very important as well. Listen to your dream.
Yeah. Let me add to that. That's why it is very important to keep a dream journal. Jot down your dreams, but also don't forget to date them. Because, like, I've got a dream journal, and every now and then I look, I haven't written in it for months, but yet I've been dreaming a lot and I'm not recording it. So, yes, take your time to journal, and just, even if it's just keynotes, because I know everyone's busy and life is hectic, you don't have time to spend hours analyzing it. Just put key notes down, key little words down that you can later, oh yes, this is my dream, didn't have meaning, did it come true? So that's why I think that's another sign. That's a very good sign, Rome's and Andrew, because if that dream stays with you, that is also a sign from the universe. Definitely. I believe that.
Absolutely. And it's a good habit to form, that you have a book next to your bed, so that when you wake up, you can straight away start making a few notes and then get back to the intricacies of it later on in the day, because we forget. But we wake up in the morning and you're so busy thinking of what's lying ahead in your day and planning this and planning that, and then all of a sudden later on in the day you remember, oh, but I had a dream, but now I can't remember what the dream is. So it's important to make those notes. And there's also different categories of dreams, because some of them are what's the fears and doubts that are sitting in our subconscious. And so they'll come through in our dreams. And other times it's a communication from the other side, or a communication of loved ones that are in distress. And so there's all kinds of promptings that come.
Give us an example. Come, Andrew, give us an example. Seeing that this is a casual podcast, I think our viewers would love an example. Give us an example.
Well, the other category is one that I found often, where people love to watch a lot of violent movies or horror movies, and then they complain because they don't sleep well. So if you are watching, that imagery impacts onto your soul and onto your subconscious. And so if I'm watching a lot of horror movies and then I go to bed, then obviously I'm not going to go into that sweet space. You get caught up, because we know the astral realm, which is the first vibration of spirit, which is not good. You can get stuck there. And so then you don't go into that deep sleep, because you're being hijacked, because of the resonance in your frequency is going to take you to that space where you were. And then you might even land up having nightmares. And nightmares we can't interpret them, because it's just a nightmare. It's an interference. So those kinds of dreams, they don't have meaning and create this fear. We must throw them away. And an example that I can give is, I had a lady that had this repetitive dream about that she climbs in her car, drives to the supermarket, takes a trolley, and she's walking through the aisles, and she's packing all these groceries into her trolley. And then she goes to the till, and she takes out her wallet, and she takes out cash, and she pays for it, loads of the groceries in her car, and goes home. And so she said to me, I've had this dream over and over and over, and it's such a stupid dream. So I said to her, but it's not a silly dream.
Yeah.
Because if you're climbing in your car and you're driving, this is your car. You're in control. You're driving your car. When we go to the supermarket, it's a place where we buy food. And you're taking that food and you're putting it into your trolley. This is also your trolley. So you're taking food, which is food for thought, that you are going to assimilate to take you on this new journey. And you using your money, which is your own energies, you are using to get to a better place. So she said to me, that makes perfect sense, because I've started reading books about spirituality, and I've really changed my perspective on things in life. And so she says, so the dream is very, very meaningful in my life. And after that, she stopped having the dream because she got the message.
Oh, I'm loving that example. I can give you one, Rose, before I want to hear your example, Rose. But for me personally, when I dream about cats, there's definitely treachery. When I dream about dogs, there's malicious gossip. And snakes, remember I dreamt about snakes the other day. I think we did cover it somewhere, but yeah. So for me, those are my signs that comes through to me in my dreams as well. And I always make note that I pay attention to those dreams. I'll wake up and then I'll tell my husband, oh my goodness, I've dreamt about dogs. There's malicious gossip again. And yet it will happen as clockwork the day someone has spread some false rumors. So for me, I do pay attention to those ones. Romy, what are yours?
Well, I've actually, I don't dream a lot. Well, I don't remember because I think everybody dreams every night, but I don't remember my dreams a lot. But I mean, I've had like 3 amazing dreams, and I could actually see the change in me because I've been doing a lot of self work, and I took the 3 dreams and I could actually see the growth, in myself through all of that. It was family, it was all sorts of other things, and it definitely showed me a growth, which is awesome. I mean, that's also how you learn about yourself. You look at all these things and you think, oh gosh, is this even meaningful to me? But it is. And also another thing that I've seen, if I have a dream at night, because don't ask me to put the light on and start making notes and stuff, because then I will not go back to sleep. So you can also do a little voice note. Sometimes they sound very funny, but because you're half asleep. But just put a few keywords quickly on a voice note, and that's the only time that you're allowed to touch your phone next to you.
No, I think we'll get to the topic of dreams. We'll have to do a whole podcast on dreams because it is fascinating. So today, the signs, the actual signs that we are looking for. So I'm loving the signs from the dream world.
You see, in dream interpretations, they call them archetypes.
Yeah.
So all the symbols are archetypes, and everybody has different archetypes based on what does that family member symbolize in my life. And so that's why it's very difficult to take some of these dream book interpretations where they generalize one symbol or one archetype for everybody, because you've really got to sit and have a conversation on a one-on-one with that person to find out how does that relative or that archetype, how does it relate to them and what does it mean to them? Because an aunt or an uncle can mean something different for me than what it would do for you, Tracy. It all depends on your relationship with that person, or you dream of your son or of your daughter. And sometimes it's got nothing to do with your son or your daughter. It's got to do with your own inner child and your relationship with that child. So it's all about being able to interpret the archetypes to see what is the meaning that is trying to come across that they want to give you.
I've also got here, where how do you know, is there something in your life, both of you guys, that that was guidance from spirit? You're 100% sure. Something like really outrageous that happened, or, that stops you in your track and you think, oh my gosh, that was spirit.
Yeah, that's a bit of a quick one to jump into. But what I have found especially with what I mentioned just now about accidents.
Yeah.
I have found that often where there's all kinds of things that make one late. And then all of a sudden you pass a huge accident and then you think, gosh, if I wasn't late, then I could have been part of that whole scene. So that happens often with me.
I must say something that happened to me. I was driving and, it was busy. It was on Winnie Mandela Road. That road is like so horrible in 4 ways. And busy, and it was like crazy. And I was trying to get to a spot and I had to be there on time. And I was driving and my car was 100%. There was nothing wrong with my car. The next thing, my stop light went on in my car. It was like, and it's never happened. The stoplight came on. I was busy because I indicated and I was going to, cross over to the other side. And there was a car right there that I didn't see. But that stoplight came on and it jolted me. And I was, oh my gosh, I would have been in a major accident if that didn't happen. So I'm telling you, that was my one of the times where it was like really, this was spirit, 100%.
Divine guidance from
Definitely.
above.
Yeah.
Definitely. Wow. That is I'm actually getting goosebumps. So goosebumps is another sign for me, the goosebumps.
That's your sign.
It's the goosebumps.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
And then there's an incident that's coming to mind with me as well, where we get interfered with in a negative way.
Yeah.
Because negative energies also have a way of trying to interfere with us, especially through our phones and all kinds of technology, because the negative energies, they can interfere with frequency and vibration. For instance, yesterday I was going to a client and I was running on GPS, and all of a sudden the GPS wanted to take me all over the place. And I knew that I'm not going to this area where the GPS is telling me to go. And I kept persevering and persevering, and it kept rerouting and rerouting. And then the time is on 10 minutes, and then it's on 30 minutes. And it was a shambles. And eventually I actually had to pull over, switch my phone off, reboot it,
gosh,
and then go back onto the location pin.
Yeah.
And it took me straight to the place.
Yeah, these signs are very interesting, and there's so many people that actually ignore the signs, and they get irritated. It's like when you want to leave, like you've said just now, you want to leave and you can't find your keys, and now you are irritated. You think, where is my keys? And you get so upset, and but if you just think about it, there's a reason for you that you can't find your keys. It's most probably one of your guides that's hiding your keys so that you don't leave at that precise moment.
Oh, that's when the universe actually shouts at you, pay attention. I think that's also when you don't listen to the subtle signs, like you need a rest, take a break, and then all of a sudden you fall and you hurt yourself, and you're forced to take a break, or you get flu and you're forced to just be calm, look after yourself, nurture yourself, because you're doing too much and you're not listening to the signs. I think that sometimes that's for me. Yeah. When I get sick and I'm forced to rest.
There's always a hand behind the scenes that's looking after us. And especially when you're on a spiritual path, because we think that the negative forces out there, the negative energies are not aware of us. They're very much aware of us, and they're very much not happy with us. And so therefore, they try and interfere with us. And so the positive side of life with our guides, they are trying to anticipate this, where they are continuously trying to interfere with us. So we've always got to be aware of both and not overreact when they are postponing things that we are trying to do.
Oh, I love this discussion because something just popped into my head now. Yeah. This is out of the box. Literally, nothing is ever scripted with us. Nothing is scripted, as you all know. If you get to learn our podcast, I want to ask you, how would you say you're a guide now? How would you know that I need to send Andrew a butterfly? I need to send Romy a dream. I need to hide Tracy's keys. How would the spirit decide what sign do we need? And this is an interesting question.
Well, Tracy, if you think about it, so I've been going through a lot with friends. So I'm decluttering friends, apparently. And yesterday, you sent me a message, remember? You sent me a message, and you didn't actually know exactly what I was going through. But that message was exactly what I needed to hear. And I mean, now you're asking, so these kind of things that you get a feeling, you get a feeling for someone, or it's like you said earlier on as well, is somebody pops up in your mind and you think, I better message that person because there's a reason. But these things just come. There's no warning bells or saying, oh, today you've got a spirit is not going to come and give you a whole list of things what to do, but it will just come naturally. Exactly like
they come via different people, and obviously our spiritual team all know each other. So they say, oh, my spirit guide says, I know Romy's spirit. Romy needs a little bit of cheer up. Send her a mail. Yes. Oh, I love that. The networking is wide in the spiritual world.
Absolutely.
Andrew?
Absolutely, because the spirit the world knows exactly what we're going through. Huh?
Yeah.
And so they will use the tools available to them through everybody around us, and all kinds of signs and symbols, like where you having a bad day and you open your phone and there's a picture that pops up with a Bible verse or something, and then you would say, wow, that is so apt for what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Or somebody would send you a message and you would, wow, divine timing. So it's always a process of, again, being aware and being in tune of what we going through and what other people are going through. Sometimes we send messages and we don't know why we're sending those messages, and we don't know what an impact it has on that person that you sent it to.
Very true. Exactly what happened to us.
Because you are being guided.
Beautiful.
Often I get somebody's face just pops up in my mind, and then when I contact that person and say, what's going on, then they would say, well, how did you know?
You do that to me often.
And so the more one works with one's connectivity, the more this is going to happen. So again, once synchronization and one's connectivity improves, the more you work with it.
Okay, so now here's a question for both of you. Seeing that we get all these brilliant signs from the universe, our guides, God, however you want to call it, it's all one and the same. How do you thank your guides? Or when you see that sign, do you actually take a moment to say, thank you, I know it was you? Because I'm sure they would also like appreciation at the end of the day. Just like a thank you, or I see it, thank you. I think thank you is enough. I think thank you is 2 words, that's enough.
Thank you, definitely. Just a plain thank you, and in gratitude. And then I think gratitude is also very much that you in that beautiful energy of being grateful, being thankful. And I think we need to get up every morning and say thank you for being here. Thank you for being on this earth plane another day. Thank you for the opportunities given to us. So. Yeah, well, I don't know. What do you guys want to add to that in closing?
Heavenly angels, thank you for all. You helped, you heard, you answered my call.
There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Andrew?
Well, we are in this process of synchronicity. We are in partnership with the spirit world. And so as the spirit world gives to us, we can give back by being grateful and saying thank you, because then we empower them even more and more and more. Because if there isn't an attitude of gratitude, then we are blocking that flow of communication. And so one's always got to be able to, whatever energy we receive, you must be able to give it back and say, thank you. Because then you know that the flow, the figure 8 is taking place. And the figure 8 is always from spirit world into the physical world. And the cross of that figure 8 is within your heart.
Yeah, gosh.
So we've always got to keep that flow of energy going.
Yeah, I love that.
And thank you is enough. Thank you is enough as well.
Absolutely.
Oh, Romy, Andrew, this is amazing. I love our little tea chats. I love this topic. Cannot wait to see you at the next one. And for our viewers, keep on watching.
We will be doing this once a week. So we're starting off with once a week. So please comment in the comments below and tell us what you think, and give us, what do you guys want to see? What do you want to hear us talk about? So, yeah, we thank you guys for all being here. I thank both of you for being here and, for us to have this beautiful conversation. And I hope people get something from it. So, yeah, in love and light to all of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Romy and Andrew.
Andrew?
Let us continue to be the watchers on the wall and the keepers of the light for ourselves, our family, our country, and for the whole of humanity.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Namaste.